Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Kalica and I found this Twitter thread of people that came together to talk about their therapy and some things that really hit home for them. And it was titled something like free therapy. So I just thought I would go through a few posts and maybe there's some things in these posts that you need to hear and I hope it helps. I had a really bad habit of telling my therapist, I know my issues aren't a big deal and I know other people have it worse. And she told me that trauma isn't a competition and that all trauma deserves recognition and healing. So to anyone struggling, you're valid. After my cancer diagnosis, someone was telling me about a serious problem they were having and said they felt bad for whining to me about it. I was like, just because a broken leg is worse than a sprained ankle, doesn't mean you should walk on either. Anger is a secondary emotion. If someone is angry, there was something else first. That's why we say, try to understand where they're coming from. It means literally look for the origin of their anger and speak to the initial emotion, not the anger itself. There are two ways people grow from trauma. One, they never want anyone to feel as bad as they did ever again. And two, they want everyone to feel as bad as they did because it's unfair that they went through it and others didn't. Be the first person and be wary of the second. One I heard in therapy that rocked my world was, anger is sadness's bodyguard. You're never spending time by yourself. You're spending time with yourself. You are good enough to spend time with, even if it's just you. You're not a perfectionist. You're insecure about how your best effort will be received. Sometimes you don't deserve closure. The people you've hurt don't owe you forgiveness even after you've changed for the better. Some bridges are burned forever, and sometimes it's better that way for all parties. You have to move forward and be better for you, not someone else. I learned this years ago after coming up from an 8-month-long psychotic episode, and I wish people talked more about it because it saved my life. It's great that you feel remorse, but sometimes you can't make it right, and all you can do is remove yourself and get the help you need. Your negative thoughts developed in childhood as a way to protect yourself. But a child cannot run an adult's life. When you have a negative thought, thank the child for trying to protect you, and as an adult, promise to protect them instead. Decisions do not have to be labelled right or wrong. You made a choice that you believed was best based on the information you had at that time. When or if your future self discovers new information that changes your mind, that doesn't mean you failed or made a bad choice. A therapist once told me, your parents didn't wake up and think of how to frick you up and hurt you. They did the best they could, and their best was terribly lacking, and both of those things can be true. It helped me forgive without excusing. You're not responsible for your first thought, but it's how you respond to it. Say your first thought is, ew, I look awful. You can let that build and fester, or you can say, no, I look great. Changing your thought process takes practice. Your brain is responsible for keeping you alive, not keeping you happy. You have to be intentional about bringing joy into your life. As you get healthier, people around you who are stuck in their own unhealthy patterns may resent you or accuse you of acting superior to them, being selfish, etc. You may feel guilt as your situation improves and theirs doesn't, but you aren't responsible for them and their reactions. I struggle with feeling like a burden. My therapist asked me, do you feel good when you help your friends when they're struggling? And obviously I said yes. So he asked me, do you want to deny your friends the chance to feel good by helping you? And that shifted my perspective. Sharing genetics with someone does not make them family, and it certainly doesn't obligate you to keep them in your life. And before anyone goes for the blood is thicker than water argument, look up what the full quote is first. The results may surprise you. Okay, I'll take that. 1 second, let me find this. The full quote. The blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. The original meaning of the phrase was blood shed on the battlefield creates a stronger bond between soldiers than simple familial or genetic ties. Wow. Fair enough. It's okay to grieve friendships or familial bonds that ended with arguments. It's okay to grieve the loss of toxic people in your life. If the loss of it causes grief, then it was a bond that mattered to you. You are allowed to grieve for what you leave behind. Grieving doesn't have to mean you want it back. It doesn't mean you should go back either. It just means that something that mattered to you has ceased to be something that you can carry forward. Allow yourself to grieve even when you know it was the best outcome. Absolutely. And the last one, I learned intrusive thoughts are not something you should engage with or fight. You just have to accept that they will come from time to time, and even though they make you feel crappy, acknowledge them as not real and let them pass through your mind like rude house guests. Okay, so that's all for a bit of free therapy. I really hope you did enjoy it, and it was just a wee quick video, but there was something in there that made you stop and think. And of course, if you do want to see more videos like this, then please do subscribe. Any support is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!